Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob, and today I shall be attempting to take this 1985 Vauxhall Astra GTE from shabby to shiny. Now this one's a commission job. A chap by the name of Christian approached me on my Facebook page and said, Rob, I like what you do. Is this something that you'd consider restoring or customising? And of course I said, yeah, I like the Vauxhall Astra GTE. What have you got in mind? And he showed me a picture. It was a dark metallic burgundy one, and it was a little bit lowered. And I said, sure, I can do something with that, mate. Send it down. So this is his actual car that he sent to me in the post. And I shall be getting this back to him in the next few days once it's fully cured. But the Vauxhall Astra GTE, lovely little kind of sports car. Being an Essex boy myself, seen many of these race around those back streets. But anyway, we got one rivet on this car, so we'll drill down the centre of the post, and we'll remove that flange and of course tap the hole. Please do remember to lubricate your piece. So here's the little race car, lovely little hot hatch. Come with the 2 litre, at least what I know is the red top engine, 150 brake horsepower if I remember rightly. But yeah, I remember kind of in my naughty street racing days, seeing one of these. But as you can see there, Vauxhall Astra GTE, it reads underneath there, 1985. But yeah, kind of I'm going back perhaps 15, 20 years ago when I used to do a little bit of street racing myself, and I come up against a Vauxhall Astra GTE, and it was a kind of green colour, and it was actually convertible, but it had this engine in it. I'll tell you what, it was so fast, such a cool car it was. Doing this actual commission job today had me on eBay checking out the prices, and boy, they've jumped up since the last time I checked. A little bit out of my price range now for a clean one. But yeah, taking it apart, the windscreen here is held in by the little tab. So I'm just going to reach for my drill bit here. And I'm just going to take the head of that off in order for me to take the window section out. So I've been referring to Google Images and what part needs to be painted what. Checked out on the interior, so that will be getting a paint today, but in the same kind of black colour. But an extra interior detail that I've never done before, so I look forward to seeing that in a moment. But with taking out these window sections, sometimes they give me a little bit of hassle, and I find that if I go to the larger drill bit, as you can see here, less risk of obviously going straight through the roof section, which will be a real pain in the butt, I'm sure you can imagine. But yeah, that nice spread just takes that head off in order for this to come out today. As you can see, it's very yellow, and I'll come up with a solution to that later on. But yeah, we've got opening doors on this car, little tab here. I always keep that to one side. I haven't yet put that in the caustic solution. I wonder whether it will just disappear. But anyway, we've got these bits. So we'll get this into my foot-long hot dog jar, and we'll cover it with boiling water. And then come in a tablespoon of caustic soda. Quite a violent reaction on this one today. Some kind of little bit of, spitting over the top of the footlong. But obviously, I keep a distance, and I keep my glove on here for protection. So I think you can see there, the body of the car really fizzing away, and a caustic solution obviously doing its job. Now what I do find though with some of these later castings, especially from the 80s, the paint is pretty good. Sometimes it takes, 2 lots of dunking, or sometimes it even takes like a secondary method, which actually did happen today. But yeah, whilst that was doing its thing, a little bit of a clean up on these plastic interior here. Just a bit dusty. Obviously it's got an opening doors on this one, but actually with the window section here, now here's a couple of other Astras that I do have, and I've switched out. This one doesn't need restoring, and I can get away with the yellowed window section on that car, but I've taken out the very nice clean crystal clear one, and it will still get the pledge treatment, but that's what's going to be going in this commission today. So for the interior, just to use my matte black spray paint. Of course it's already in a matte black, but nothing beats just a little bit of extra paint, just for a little bit of a luxurious feel and vibe on that. When I do a commission, or a custom commission especially, I like to leave no part of it untouched. But anyway, moving on to the wheels, I've got this little aftermarket set here, and they're about the same width, but on the Matchbox ones you can see that they've got kind of like a spacer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off that spacer from the Matchbox wheel, and I'm going to put it onto the aftermarket wheel, and it should be then perfect width and stance. So just that little tab there, that'll pop over. And do you know what? I would really love to find something, you know, like a pipe that width for me to use for these wheel spacers. I've had a lot of different kind of options and suggestions, but nothing really has been perfect. Tell you what, if I could find something like this that I could cut up into small sections as and when needed, God, we'd all be on to a winner. So there, those little spaces there from the original wheels sets it off perfectly. Now what we're used to usually with the caustic soda is for a good, you know, 90 odd % paint removal. As you can see, had not a lot gone on the base there, and still quite a bit left on this body. But I'm going to basically, I'm making a bit of a change for January. Normally I would have done a second caustic soda, because, you know, for timing, because I usually put out a video every 2 days. I'm going to switch that down a little bit to every 3 days and see how it goes for January. And because of that, I was able to get myself to bed in good time. And so this is now the following day, where I left it into the green stuff world, the paint remover. I left it overnight, and obviously when I come back from work the following day, I was able to buff it up and then get it into primer. Quite nice actually doing this one. Less pressure on myself, to be honest, only on myself. You know, I like to keep to schedule, but I'm just changing up the schedule, that's all. So yeah, feels quite nice. But anyway, this is the dark, obviously metallic burgundy that Christian was after, and it's a real base of red, a little bit of the chrome silver in there to make it a metallic, little touch of brown, little touch of blue, and yeah, that's the like I say, that's the colour that we come up with today. Now I did find by accident, but thankfully I did. I've been struggling with some what they call fisheye in some of my paint jobs, and I was mucking around with, you know, kind of trying to mix these paint colours together for the perfect match to what Christian sent me in the photograph, and I noticed the fisheye on the inside of the shot glasses that I use for the paint mixing, and I thought perhaps it was the shot glass. You know, maybe the shot glass has got some kind of release agent in it, you know, from the plastic moulding. But it turns out, after doing a couple of experiments, different shot glasses and kind of different stirrers, that it was actually the syringes that I use. So I use a syringe that, you know, if I use 1 millimeter of, or 1 milliliter rather, of paint, I know to use, you know, half a milliliter of thinner. But it turns out that these syringes have some kind of, I don't know, antibacterial or antiseptic or whatever it is on the inside, and that's obviously making you know, going into the paint and having an effect. So yeah, just switched out to some pipettes, which I'm hoping it'll be better going forward. Anyway, so there's the base. Obviously was painted there, but this is the interior. So looking at the Google images, they all appear to be black. So I left that without any further detail. The glass there is clean. The base there is looking good in the matte black. This has also had some clear over it, X22 clear, and then some details already. You can see there's a bit of chrome on that rear view mirror, and basically some some matte black on the inside of the door. And I've been meaning to do this for a long time, to be honest, but you know, there's been a few comments over the last year where it was like, well, you know, if you've got a black interior, surely you should paint the inside of the doors black. And there you go. So I've finally done it. But yeah, there's the wheels there. But anyway, here's a little reminder of what she looked like. And this is the result. So I've added a few more details now. One thing that Christian wanted was it to be lowered a little bit. To be honest, this is as low as it can go. It was higher than this, and I've added some styrene kind of little blocks to drop it down a little bit. You'll notice some matte black on the door handle. Coming around the back, you got some red in those brake lights. Now there's no kind of brake up section of indicator or reverse light, so I didn't want to just splodge it because I just thought it would look messy. And the number plates I've kept black with chrome lettering, which I think looks quite smart. And then you'll see around the front, it's painted in the headlights, and then the indicators. But yeah, using chrome in the registration plates, which I think looks pretty cool. But anyway, just want to thank my amazing patrons. Thanks to Christian, obviously, for believing in me for this little custom. I hope you like it, mate, and it'll be coming to you shortly. And everybody else that's watched it, thanks very much, and I'll see you all soon.